Have you been struggling to lose weight? Are you unhappy with the way your clothes fit or how it makes you feel when you see your reflection in a mirror or shopping window as you pass by? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this is the perfect video for you. Today, I will share with you 11 simple but surefire ways to help you to finally look and feel your best. You may be saying, but I've tried everything and nothing has worked. Well, I understand your frustrations, and this is why it's important that you watch this entire video and pay close attention to each of these tips. If you watch this video in its entirety, I promise you will find something here that can finally help you to get the results you're after. So keep watching, and if you like this type of content and you'd like to see more, please support my channel by giving this video a thumbs up below. Also, to make sure you don't miss out on any of my future videos, click on that red subscribe button and turn on the notifications, and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. With all of that said, let's now jump straight into the video so I can share with you some very practical tips to help you get to feeling and looking the way you want to look and feel. Let's get started. Tip number 1: hang up several mirrors. I heard about this first tip years ago and I thought it was a brilliant idea. We mentioned how terrible our reflection can make us feel when we see ourselves in windows and mirrors. Therefore, why not use those mirrors to our advantage? It's been documented that watching ourselves reaching for that extra plate of spaghetti or that piece of chocolate cake actually reduces the amount of food we would normally eat. So, go for it. Hang those mirrors near your fridge, in the dining room, and even near the TV if you're known to snack on junk foods as you binge watch your favorite TV programs. But, if you decide to try this tip, please keep in mind that this should be used only as a motivational tool, not for beating yourself up or for making you feel that you're a lost cause or anything like that. You're beautiful and special no matter how you look. The goal here is to help you to feel better about yourself, not to dislike or hate yourself. Tip number 2: drink your coffee black. Drinking black coffee will boost your metabolism. Coffee has caffeine, and because caffeine is a stimulant, it could potentially boost your metabolism. But why is black coffee so special? It's because it doesn't have excess calories from the sugar, the milk, the creamers, and so on. Black coffee is also great for those who implement intermittent fasting in their programs. Coffee is one of the few drinks that these individuals can have that won't break their fast. In fact, it might actually help those who intermittent fast because caffeine has a tendency to curb the appetite. So, keep that fast going by drinking some black coffee. Tip number 3: drink green tea daily. Green tea is loaded with powerful antioxidants, as well as caffeine that enhances fat burning. Feel free to have this powerful drink with your breakfast, your lunch, and dinner. As a reminder, green tea has caffeine, so be careful that you don't drink it too late in the day or you might have trouble sleeping that night. When it comes to green tea, not only does it have caffeine and antioxidants, but it can also have a calming effect on the mind. A calm mind means less stress, and less stress makes it easier to drop the excess weight. Tip number 4: don't overeat. Of course, this should be common sense, but unfortunately so many people don't truly what it means to not overeat. If the host has to ask you to leave, you've probably overeaten. If you have to loosen your belt, you've probably overeaten. Of course, these are obvious signs, but sometimes when we overeat it's not so obvious. So, if the scale is still climbing, and it's climbing not because we're building muscle, maybe we should reaccess our eating habits. Let's try this instead: eat only to the point when you're not feeling hungry anymore, but you feel satiated, not overly full. This is going to take some self-control, but you can do it. If you eat more slowly as mentioned earlier, you'll be surprised how well this can work. When you first hear this kind of advice, you may be thinking you're going to die if you had to live like this, but I promise you if you stick with this for a little while, you'll look back and realize that you're not hungry after just one serving and no longer crave seconds. You'll realize that you don't need all those portions of unhealthy foods and extra calories. To feel good and to feel good about yourself, you don't have to starve yourself in the process. Make this type of eating a way of life for you and the pounds will start to fall off. Tip number 5: use smaller plates and bowls. There's a saying, go big or go home. Most people dream of a bigger house, a bigger yard, a bigger boat, a bigger bank account, and so on. But not as many people have the same viewpoint when it comes to having a bigger waistline or needing bigger clothes. With that said, when it comes to losing weight, portion control is key. An ingenious way to practice portion control so that you don't overeat is to use smaller plates and bowls for your meals. Why does this work so well? Surely, you must agree that for most people, the bigger the dinnerware, the bigger their portions. It's also true that most people clean their plates, mindlessly eating until there's no more food left on it, instead of only eating to be satisfied. When people use smaller plates and bowls, however, their portions are also smaller, so now cleaning your plate actually results in eating less food than you would eat when you would use larger dinnerware. Tip number 6: chew your food more slowly. It's been said to chew each bite 50 times. Years ago I thought that this was stupid advice. But now I understand how our brain can take quite some time to tell our stomachs that we're full and should probably stop eating. So, by chewing our food longer and being patient with how quickly we eat gives our brain time to communicate with our waistline before we overeat. Tip number 7: have an apple with each meal. Eating an apple with each meal is a great way to help you to reach your weight loss goals. Having an apple with your meals will not only help you to feel fuller faster because of the fiber that apples contain, but also because apples are sweet, they will help to satisfy your cravings. Apples are also low in carbs, low in fat, and easily obtainable from any grocery store, making them a win-win for your weight loss journey. Tip number 8: practice intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting involves eating your meals during an 8-hour window and avoiding food, or fasting, for the remaining 16 hours of the day. Therefore, if you're only eating in a time-restricted 8-hour feeding pattern, you're going to eat less calories. This means, you can use intermittent fasting to help you to drop the extra, unwanted pounds. Intermittent fasting is not your typical diet because there are no restrictions on the types or amounts of food that a person can eat during the 8-hour window. This flexibility makes the plan relatively easy to follow, and it has become a way of life for many who practice it. Many practitioners have been successful by having their last meal around 8 p.m. and not eating again until noon the next day. Some have even started off by fasting for only 12 hours a day and working their way up to 16. One key thing of all who practice intermittent fasting is they all include the time they sleep into their fast. This means, if you're asleep for 8 hours, you'll only go without food for 8 hours. Everyone is different and you'll have to figure out what works best for you. You may be thinking to yourself, 8 hours without food is a long time. But anyone who is practicing this way of eating will tell you how fast this time flies, especially when taking advantage of the power of coffee and tea that we spoke of earlier. While intermittent fasting is a wonderful tool and it has some great benefits, it's not for everyone. So do your research and try it out to see if it's right for you. Tip number 9: try some interval training. If you were to sprint for about 30 seconds, then walk for 1 to 3 minutes and you keep repeating this sequence, you're doing what is known as interval training. Interval training consists of doing short bursts of intense exercise, followed by lowering your heart rate with 1 to 3 minutes of moderate to low intensity exercise, and repeating this over and over for a certain amount of sets or time. Interval training has many benefits. For one, as mentioned, it can help you in dropping those extra pounds, but it goes beyond that. Because our interval training has been known to also aid in building muscle. But the biggest benefit of this type of training is, it can improve your heart rate variability. Interval training is basically strengthening and training your heart, your most important muscle, to withstand the demands of it having to pump large volumes of blood as you sprint, and then be able to settle back down when you perform your lower intensity work. A stronger heart can equate to a longer life because of having less heart problems. Interval training is another win-win. Tip number 10: choose weights over cardio. You may be saying, but wait, earlier you said to practice interval training. Well, when it comes to being fit and healthy, we need two kinds of exercise. We need cardio for our hearts and we need weights for our muscles and body tone. Lifting weights is a must if you want to take advantage of your body's full capabilities to burn fat and build muscle at the same time. When a person engages in cardio, they're only burning calories as they're exercising. Once they stop the cardio for the day, pretty much all the calorie burning stops too. When you lift weights, however, you're not only burning fat and using calories while you're exercising, but you're also burning fat and using calories as you recover. Lifting weights, if they're heavy enough to challenge you, can burn fat and calories up to 72 hours after your session is over. It takes a lot of energy to repair and rebuild your muscles after a weightlifting session. So, lift your weights 1, 2, or 3 times a week, and if you're consistent, you'll soon be a stronger, leaner you. Tip number 11: water. Drink water before you eat. Drinking a glass of water 30 minutes before your meals will not only make you feel fuller faster, but it'll also provide your body with something that the majority of people are lacking, and that's hydration. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water daily. In fact, have your first glass as soon as you wake up in the morning. The benefits of doing so are tremendous. Also, drink water regularly throughout the day. This can help reduce your calorie intake because water has the ability to help curb your hunger. Oftentimes, people mistake thirst for hunger, but if we drink enough water throughout the day, we won't be one of those people. You may also want to consider not eating out as much, but take the time to prep your meals for the week. Prepping your meals can save you time, calories and money. Yes, it's another win-win. These are just a few of my favorite helpful tips. Applying them can help you to lose your unwanted weight. So, have you been struggling to lose weight? Are you unhappy with the way your clothes fit or how it makes you feel when you see your reflection in a mirror or shopping window as you pass by? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, hopefully, this has been the perfect video for you. If you apply the 11 simple tips suggested in this video, you can soon look and feel your very best. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and leave me a comment below. Until next time, good health to you.